And have you met David? David, the perfect man from the 16th century, the Renaissance period. David created by Michelangelo. Back in those days, when the statue of David was getting unveiled, somebody asked Michelangelo, wow, how did you conceive of, how did you create this masterpiece? You know what Michelangelo said? He said, I didn't create David. I saw an angel stuck in marble, and I carved until I could set him free. I saw an angel stuck in marble, and I carved until I could set him free. Each one of you, masterpieces. Keep a hand on your heart and ask, are you waiting to be discovered? Are you waiting to be set free? Are you waiting for somebody to come along? Your stories. Your stories can set you free. We should all be storytellers. Good afternoon, dear angels. This is Sinjini Sengupta, the founder of Lighthouse. And at Lighthouse, I help people bring hearts to work with the power of storytelling. And off the bat, I'll tell you 3 good ways in which you can get started with your storytelling. Number 1, start where you are. At times we think, we didn't climb the Everest, we didn't cross the English Channel, what will we talk about? But here I ask you, who are you? What do you do? Why do you do what you do? Where are you going with it? How do you make a difference? Start where you are. Number 2, do what you do. You don't have to leave everything and become a storyteller. You can be a storyteller right with what you do today. As a student, tell a good story with your CV, tell a good story at the interview. As a business leader, tell a good story with numbers. Tell a good story about your team spirit, about trust, about collaboration, about culture, about connection, about change making. As a founder, tell us about your founding story. Tell us about your product, your customer, your team, your dream. Whoever you are, whatever you are, do what you do. Tell a story. And number 3, and perhaps the most important ingredient, pour yourself in the mix. To borrow the words of the poet Walt Whitman, as he says, when I give myself. Give yourself. Be vulnerable, be authentic, be genuine, be humanized. You know, today, technology has made such leaps and bounds all around us that it can really do most of the work we were doing back in the old days. In fact, it can even do eye surgeries or drive a car. And for all we know, the only way left for us, humans, is to be human. The only way left for us to be human is to be human. And to be human is to tell your stories. To individualize yourself is to tell your stories. Don't get me wrong, I was not really brought up with all these ideas, okay? Wait, perhaps like quite some of you, I too was grown up on a pretty strict diet. First, Cerelac. Second, Horlicks. And third, the great Indian myth. The great Indian myth that says, only if you study hard and harder and some more, the rest of your life is going to be a cakewalk. Have any of you heard that? Show me your hand, yeah? So I was born stupid, so I fell straight for it. Studied hard, stayed up nights, crammed notes, cracked exams, went to the best institute in my subject in the country, and all was well. And then I studied some more. And then got placed on day 0, went to my dream career to become an actuary, got promotions out of turn, got my steep ladder to climb, and there I was, thinking all the while, the cake must be just around the corner. It was. But unfortunately, the cakewalk proved to be slippery. At 33 and just a step away from my next big promotion, I fell ill face down. Several dozens of doctors, several medical scans and reports later, the doctor finally gave me the verdict. Sinjini, you are one step away from quadriplegia. You know, all this time, all those 12 years, I was trying to be Tom, Jill, and Harry. I was doing what everybody else was doing. And it is now, through those blank afternoons, looking at the ceiling. You know the drill, right? You watch the ceiling and you wonder, what next? The doorbell would ring and you would think, who cares? Let's not answer the door. What for? Somewhere in that haze, I got the first glimpse of my David. Or maybe it was not even me, it was David who found me. Like I often say, I quite didn't pick up the pen picked me up. It was my coping mechanism, just to deal with my emotional turmoil, just to live with this new identity of not working or taking a break and things that I would have let myself down and my parents down and everybody on earth down. In that entire turmoil somewhere, there was this glimpse of David. As I stand before you now, in the last 5 to 7 years, I have rediscovered myself. Remember David from the Renaissance times? Renaissance also means rebirth. If I introduce myself now, I'm a former actuarial leader and an award-winning author, speaker. This is my third TEDx. I walked the red carpet at Cannes for my story getting made into a short film that was screened at Cannes. And now I help leaders, founders, change makers, visionaries, thought leaders to be able to find their David, discover their story, tell their story, and make a difference. But wait, that's just my story. Why should you bother about it? Let me give you 3 good reasons why storytelling can really help you where you are. Number 1, have you ever thought of life as a zero-sum game? Have you ever been told that if you win, somebody loses, and if you lose, somebody wins? I mean, I have. Right from kindergarten, we were told, you have got 10 apples, Jack takes 10, and Jill takes 4, and Jack takes 3, and then how many are you left with? But what if you have your own apple orchard? Your storytelling, your creativity is your unlimited apple orchard. You can grow, you can create, you can nurture, you can share, you can grow yourself and the whole community with it. Number 2, has anybody ever asked you, what do you want to become when you grow up? Trust me, you don't have to decide. Not at 18, not at 23, not even at 45 these days. You can be anything, but then you can also be many things. Nowadays, we see these examples all before our eyes, right? From corporate into entrepreneurship, up to the mountain trekking, coming back, becoming an academician, rediscovering themselves as a musician, as a dancer, or going farming. But what are those assets that you can carry along as you travel light through this walk of life? Those assets are your reputation, your people, your connection, your brand, your stories. Your stories will help you navigate, find that inner compass, and find your North Star. And third, how many of us have ever got compared to some cousin, some neighbor, some Sharma ji ka beta, somebody who gets more scores in math, somebody who gets a better college? Yeah? Your stories help you individuate yourself. Your stories help you understand and tell the world that you alone are your only competition. The only person who can contest with you is the face you see in the mirror. Okay, so much for logic, and we have all understood how to get started and why to get started at all. Let me tell you a story. So once upon a time, long, long back in a world far, far, far away from where we are seated right now, in those times, our great ancestral great-grandmothers and great-grandfathers, they used to live in the caves. And every day as the sun would go down, they would retreat into their caves and, block the doorway with a big stone so that the wild animals can stay away. One night, And something tells me it must be a little girl somewhere. Long after everybody was asleep, she slowly crawled out of the cave. She picked up 2 stones and rubbed it against each other. And lo and behold, a flame broke. Her parents and aunts and uncles and everybody around, they came rushing to her and reprimanded her. Are you really going mad? I mean, you are calling down the sun god down on earth in these unearthly hours? The gods will curse us. But of course, that never stopped human beings from discovering things. And from that very day, every single day, as the sun would go down, all these cavemen and cave women, they would come together. They would make a small pile of dry leaves and twigs, and they would rub stones against each other and light a fire. At first, they thought it is only to keep the wild animals at bay. But lo, soon enough, there were the first glimpses of community through stories. They shared their life, they shared their food, they shared their catches of the day, they shared their fears and their hopes, they shared their plans. Every day. And now what do we do every day when we get up? Yeah? We open our eyes in the morning and on our screen, Instagram stories, LinkedIn stories, YouTube stories, Facebook stories. Storytelling is hardwired in us. We are doing it all the time. In fact, like we are made of bone, flesh, and blood, I feel that metaphorically we are also made of story cells. Because nobody, I repeat, nobody, on this whole planet of 8 billion people have your lived experiences. Have your introspection, retrospection, observation, imagination, exploration, have your stories. You alone can tell them. And that makes you unique, that makes you special. The world is shifting. Talking of Facebook and Google and all of that, the largest companies of the world right now, the Microsoft, the Meta, all these large, big companies, they are not born out of multi-storied buildings and family businesses, no. They were born all out of one single powerful idea, out of garages, made by college dropout kids at times, all empowered by one idea and a good story. We need more original thinkers today, but more than that, we need original thinkers who can articulate, who can communicate, who can lead, who can show the way. We need evangelists. Michelangelo said that about David, remember? He also said that when I saw David, I could not unsee him. So I chiseled away at everything that was not David. I welcome you today. Today, at the end of this talk, as you go back home, try and pick up a pen. Open the selfie mode on your video camera, switch on record, hit publish. There's somebody out there on the other side of the screen in your audience, somebody with a hole in their heart exactly in the shape of your story, your words. The world needs your story. We need your story. We should all be storytellers. Thank you.